Welcome to After Dark from the Den. This is the first episode of Season 4, and we have Paper Krane in the studio today. And this is the first episode of the fourth season, and if there's any bands or artists out there, solo artists that are interested in being on the show, you can send us an email or send me a message through the Instagram page, which is just After Dark from the Den. And we're really excited to have these guys in the studio because we had some scheduling conflicts leading up to the holidays, and we don't do episodes around the holidays, so it's finally nice to meet all of you guys. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, we can kind of just go around and you guys can talk about how you started the band.
Yeah, sure. I suppose we should start with some introductions. Hi, I'm Duncan. I'm the lead singer, and I play some guitar on some songs as well. Probably less than what you'll be hearing tonight. But anyway, over here we have, introduce yourself, boy.
I'm Jonah. I'm one of the guitar players. One of the founders of the band, too. And yeah.
I'm Emma. I'm the bass player in the band. I played in another band with these two called Night Room, and I've been their bass player for a while now, and I like it a lot, and it's lots of fun.
I'm Will, and I play guitar, and all right, thanks for that. And I'm one of the founding members of the band as well.
I'm not going to do that for you, Gage. You have your own microphone.
My name is Gage, and I play drums. I joined these guys a little bit later, but I'm so glad I did because I love all of them. And yeah.
And should we introduce our mascot too? Should we?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on.
Yeah, I guess if you want.
Yeah, we're good? All right. This motherfucker is Larry Chimaid. Here, catch. Do something with him. There you go. You could stay over there for now.
You can't say the aliens are people. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Also, we got a song about him, and you'll learn he's a real son of a bitch.
All right.
Yeah. He looks taller in the pictures, though.
That's funny. So talk about how the band started. How do you guys know each other? Do you know each other outside of this band as well, or?
Yeah. So it actually started as Attack of the Victims with me, Will, and Jonah. We met in audio engineering classes at community college, and we decided to come in early to class one day and practice working on the mixing console, and we realized when we were recording a session, it's like, oh yeah, no, we sound pretty good. We should form a band, and then we added on Gage. In what, 22?
Yeah, I think so. I think about 22. It's kind of an interesting story, though.
Yeah, you want to tell it?
Just a little bit of it, yeah. So I met Duncan working on a stagehand job, and at Texas Motor Speedway. That's right. But the weird part about the story is, it was a really long day, and so we were super hungry. So we went to Kincaid's, I think, and I ate like a ton of fried okra, and I ate it like really fast. And then I think I ended up like basically inhaling a piece of fried okra, and I had to go to the hospital and get an X-ray on my chest because.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I popped up the piece of okra, and then I was like, something's not right, man. This just doesn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, and they're like, you're fine. But yeah, that's the first day I met Duncan, and he was like, oh, you must be a drummer because of my lanyard.
Yeah, I saw your lanyard, and I was like, hey, are you a drummer, perchance? Because it says, percussion.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I went to UNT for it. And I'm like, Bet. So we need a drummer.
That's right.
So I invited him over to jam, and he fit right in. So yeah, and then Emma, we got because our previous bass player had to move. I miss Ryan dearly. Shout out Ryan. But we needed a new bass player, so I was like, hey, Jonah, Will, is there any chance that Emma would want to like come and like jam with us and see if she wants to like be our bass player also? And she said,
Yes.
and that was that.
Very nice. All right. Well, go ahead and introduce the first song, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, so this first song is actually one of the first songs we released. We recorded this back in community college for our program. This is the title track to our very first EP. This is Starry Eyes. Easy for me, how would you know? You always turn away and act cold as snow. I wanted you around through the good times and the bad, but you only seem to be around whenever you feel sad. So these starry eyes can you turn to me straight? I'm just a And in the second version, we ended off with root beer.
That was really nice. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
That was a cool song. It definitely gave me a lot of like Mac DeMarco / Melody's Echo Chamber / Crumb kind of feel. Like you guys have a lot of jazz influence, but I can definitely hear the kind of the popness of like Mac DeMarco. But that's just, you know, as a listener, what would you say is y'all's influence for this project? Maybe?
Oh God. Oh.
Well, I would say, you know, my biggest influence for me was each other, because when I started this band, I surrounded myself with, I didn't realize it, but by people that were better at me, that things that I wasn't good at, and it inspired me to write a part that was really akin to what Will was writing. You know, it's he wrote the main riff of the song, and that pushed me to write outside of my comfort zone and to write something that was really supportive of what he was doing.
And I think that's kind of touching on something else too, where like I don't think there's like a single influence for us specifically. It's like what influences each of the different members, and then we can just kind of like gel that together. So like I know for you do a lot of like blues stuff. Yeah. Will does a lot of like indie rock stuff. You do some like metal stuff. Gage has like the jazz stuff because he was in the jazz program here, and then I have a lot of like classic rock, folk singer influences. So you know, like my lyrical style is almost like, you know, Tom Waits, Jim Croce, Harry Chapin, mixed with, you know, like Pink Floyd, Blue Oyster Cult, that kind of stuff.
That's cool. You know, and if you're, that kind of makes sense, especially with the folk background, because Pink Floyd, they were huge fans of the blues. I mean, that's actually where they got the name Pink Floyd, is it was, you know, off of a blues artist. So
Yes, it was.
That's awesome. Well, go ahead and introduce the next song, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, this next song you can find on our first full-length album, Under Your Bed. This is called Muse. This also happens to be one of the oldest songs in our repertoire. I wrote this pre-COVID. So... Always the G string, man. And then the D, for some reason, is super sharp. That's wild.
It's sensitive.
That's a little better. Mystic angel of spawning hell. Turn gears, inside of me, fucking generosity.
Very smooth. That was really cool. Have any of you ever heard of a band called Royal Headache? No. Okay, you should check them out. They're a indie rock band from Australia that I don't even think they're a band anymore. They were around in like 2014, 2013 time frame, but they have two of what I would consider to be some of the best like folk rock songs that were done in kind of an indie rock genre. And that song reminded me a lot of, especially the vocals, because the lead singer, he's got a really cool like scream sounding thing, and it blew my mind when I figured out they were from Australia, because he sounds like he's from Tennessee. Like he just sounds like he's not.
Yeah, there's a lot of Australian bands I listen to where like the singer starts going and you're like, oh, he's from the Outback. All right. So yeah. What are they called again? I'll have to check them out.
Royal Headache.
Royal Headaches.
Yeah, they write a lot of like love songs. They're typically kind of short. I could tell they like a little bit of punk, but it's not overbearing. It's more folk, like storytelling stuff. You know?
Okay.
So
I'll definitely vibe with them. We do a lot of storytelling around here. You'll be getting the story later on. Trust me.
All right. Well, I actually had another question. Do any of you have an interest that's completely non-music related that you think just kind of helps you in your like daily life and you get ideas for music from, or something like that? Yeah? Go ahead and share. I want to know.
I definitely do. Video games.
You have video games?
Yeah, me and Will both. We play a lot of video games.
Video games, Dungeons and Dragons. I read a lot of sci-fi fantasy.
Oh yeah, I think it helps me a lot in my everyday life. to be
Motorcycling.
honest.
When you clear your head and you're just on the bike and it makes you think clear. It helps you with the whole process of, coming up with something.
Yeah, I would not have pegged you to be a motorcycle person. I don't know. Yeah. That's cool.
I kind of feel like gaming definitely influenced me because, despite what your parents might say, I feel like it helps me with teamwork. Helps me learn how to do teamwork.
Me too.
I feel like I learned how to communicate with people for an objective through video games.
You know what's really funny? I'm not a video game person, but I recently played Marvel Rivals for the first time a couple days
Same,
ago.
yeah.
And that, I mean, one, the game is free, but two, it was so fun for someone that's not good at video games, that doesn't really like to sit down and play for longer than like 30 minutes to an hour. I found myself getting addicted to that game. I was like, this is just a really fun game for even someone that's not like used to gaming. So that's a good one. What were you going to say? You were going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say something that helped me with music and just in everyday life was boxing. You know, I don't really know how to say specifically it helped me, but it definitely did. It just did. It definitely helps you, you know, like you got a lot of things going on at one time. You know, when you're playing guitar and stuff and switching between pedals and stuff, it can be a lot to process, and I feel like boxing helps with a lot with coordination and timing.
Ooh, timing, yeah.
You know, that's cool because I actually did boxing for a while, and I'm actually doing kickboxing now for the first time. And I think there's something to that. I guess it's just about the spatial recognition, because if you think about it, music in general is all about utilizing space, whether you're like in a performance aspect or if you're a drummer and just getting used to how far things are on the kit, or like what you're saying, you know, just like knowing, you know, how and when to hit a pedal somewhere. It helps in ways you wouldn't think it would, you know. It's interesting.
You don't specifically think about your leg when you're playing, right? But like you just know where your limbs are when you don't have to look at them, right? I know you think you may know where your limbs are, but trust me, you don't.
All I'm hearing is that you two should fight. Who would win, Jonah or Mike?
I don't think we have enough insurance contracts for
No.
that.
You pay the hospital. You pay the hospital bills with the pay-per-view.
The pay-per-view money.
Yeah, it's pay-per-view now. You heard it here first, folks.
All right, well, go ahead and introduce the next song, and this is your third one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Stop that.
And maybe after this one, you can tell that riveting story you have for us.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah. Well, we will. We'll get there. Trust me, we'll get there. It's gonna have you in tears.
Oh gosh.
All right. This next one, we played some older songs for you. Well, let's play some new stuff that nobody has really heard before. This next one is all about the relationship that us working stiffs have with bars and weekend getaways, that kind of stuff, versus our capitalistic overlords. This is Faithful Mule. little short and sweet for you there.
Yeah, that was cool. You know, I'm seeing the Violent Femmes this Saturday, and I'm really excited about it. And that song kind of reminded me of some of the stuff on their later albums. They kind of went electric for a while, you know? And that was cool. I like that. Definitely heard the blues influence in that one. Yeah. All right, so let's get to that story. I want to know what it's about.
Oh, it's a story in the form of a song, don't you know? You got to wait a little bit longer for that.
Oh, it's in the song?
The song is the story.
Oh, I got tricked. Okay. Do you
You're
have
so impatient. Oh my gosh.
is that Larry over there on your lap? Is that yeah.
Why is he here?
He was being the front man. Hello?
Why did you name him Larry?
Yeah, he's better stage presence than all of them.
Yeah, that's right. That's why we drew him.
Yeah. Especially our tour manager.
He's our executive manager, actually.
Yeah.
He pays us our budget.
He owns the label.
That should be
I
the
need to go have a
running.
conversation with Larry real quick. I'll be right back.
That should be the running joke. Like if you guys are ever at a show.
There's some drama taking place. Oh God, he's brutally beaten him. Okay, Duncan didn't like his spot being taken. I'm sorry, please don't beat me up too.
It's all I have.
Well, oh.
And no one knows what happened to him, right? Thank you. Last I heard, they were collaborating on some MS Paint artwork. Your baby.
Performance art at its best. Well, I think you guys should start taking bets on how long it'll take before Larry gets popped accidentally.
It's been a long time, actually.
Really?
He did. Oh, that's right.
He died once?
Yeah.
How'd you revive him?
Well, that's a story that we told in the song. Well,
Well-
not the reviving, him dying. Maybe we'll get to the second part. Maybe.
Well, I think I have to hear the song then, because I need to know.
No, he's from another. It will blow your mind.
Oh, it's classified. All right, well, why don't you guys just go ahead and introduce the last song?
This last song is it's called "The Limited Exchange." We don't usually like to get I don't usually like to get political with my songs, but this is an exception. The huddled masses waiting, all gathered around the news. The anchors weeping left him speaking words two by two. Chaos broke out through the crowd as background sirens sound. Broken windows, paper bags flutter on the ground. They hurried to their loved ones, didn't mind the summer swelter. Raced in vain 20 miles from the nearest shelter. As trails curved downward, the blood began to boil. Can't build basements in this blasted Texas soil. A song for the wasteland, a tune for the damned, with the meek that inherit this burn-tainted land. His lump's name is Fred, the other one is James. We're the ones that survive the limited exchange. darkness to a world of uncertainty. One ruled by rats, roaches, and toxicity. The quiet and the boredom was enough to drive you mad. Now it hurts to think of everyone we had. The stories of yesterday told of heroes and hope, of people getting by and being able to grow. But the fight between the rocket man leaves long-lasting scars. A planet blown sky high, unable to reach the stars. A song for the wasteland, a tune for the damned, with a meek and hurt, a spine-tainted land. Slum's name is Fred, the other one is James, with the ones that survive the limited exchange. The winter has come. The starving masses wait in line for a meager ration crumb. Soldiers dole it out, guardians of a time now past, when policies were mad and you fought to make peace last. Is it even worth starting over again? The fates of our lives are in the hands of a few men. The world may end in fire, but I know one thing for sure: man won't go quiet. What comes after war is war. A song for the wasteland, a tune for the damned, with a meek and inherit spine-tainted land. This one's name is Fred, the other one is James, with the ones that survive the limited exchange.
All right, that was After Dark from the Den, and thank you, Paper Krane, for coming in the studio.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's a wrap.